Welcome back to Blue Steel.
It is absolutely fantastic to be here. How have you been?
Darn cold, it's chilly.
Yeah, well, as far as guns go, it seems like everything's kind of it feels back to normal.
Yeah, until
but
you...
I'm not on your side of the counter.
Until you ask us to special order something, the newest, latest, and greatest. The patent expired on Browning high powers. So you got a bunch of companies that are making those now. Gerson, Springfield, and what's the other company that's coming out and making that?
Gerson and Springfield are the only two I'm aware of.
I was told there was a third, and I can't remember if it was Remington or it was another company.
Because they did the 1911 as well.
So you've got companies that are coming out with these new guns, and I'm sure you'll see them when you go to the SHOT Show. Read carefully. I think we mentioned this. Check for the importation marks on there, because I'd be really interested to see
a video the other day.
where
I'm sure
these
they're all probably coming out of the same factory.
Where these are coming from.
Turkey would be my guess, but I could be wrong.
Hey,
I'll find out.
You know what? Don't complain.
I'm not. I'm just telling you what I think.
You guys, I see some people that look at these guns. They go, Turkey. I don't want a gun that's made in Turkey. Give me that Springfield right there. I'm like, that Springfield's made in Croatia. That Winchester back over there is from Turkey. That CZ over there is from, Turkey. This one's... Turkey makes a lot of guns.
They make a lot of shotguns specifically. Most semi-automatic shotguns coming out of Turkey.
You got a lot more than that. So Europe produces a lot of firearms, and they produce them for the American companies that have businesses here in the U.S. They're shipped here to their... they're the importers. These big names that you hear, they're the importers. So they're bringing all these European guns, putting their names on them. You're using these European guns and not realizing that you've got this awesome gun that you love. And it wasn't made here. It was just brought here by the company whose name slapped on it. Read the fine print on your firearms. You might be very, very, very surprised to see where these guns are coming from.
And what's ironic is that a lot of people will choose a label, an American well-known label, even though that gun was made by some other company in some other country.
That's not advertised.
And hindsight, and the reverse of that is then they'll take a product like, for example, like a Taurus revolver, and they'll be like, well, that's made in Brazil, oh, who wants that? Not realizing that that was actually the Smith & Wesson factory. So most Smith & Wessons at the time were made out of that exact same factory,
So Colt had a manufacturing plant in Chile. So you can find those Chilean and the Argentinian, is that the right, Argentinian, I think? Colts, 1911s, and phenomenal, beautiful. All of Colt's tooling, all of Colt's machining, everything, except, some of it isn't written in English.
That's right.
Big frickin' whoop.
I mean, and, not to switch from guns, but even the good old USA Jeep from World War II and all that was most of them made in South America. So it's just how it goes. And a lot of times you just got to really think about what a company's doing and how they're making it.
So a lot of these big companies, they're just a corporation here, and their manufacturing is cheaper elsewhere.
Sure.
You have to comply with every single EPA regulation and this and that, and there's not really much incentive for people to build and manufacture here in the U.S. The incentive is ship it out. Bring it back in. We'll ship out the raw materials, you guys make it, and we'll just buy it back from you and put our name on it and put it on the shelf.
Now, do you think that, because I don't mean to change the subject, but as you've been talking, it just made me think that, there's obviously this shipping problem in America right now. I don't want to get into the shipping problem for the record.
I don't work for shipping companies, so I can't tell you anything about that, so we're good there.
Is that affecting guns and ammo, though, in some way?
I'm sure it is.
It dawned on me as we were talking about shipping products from other countries.
I'm sure it is, because we get components from other countries. We ship raw materials out and get back a finished component to build whatever it is that we're making here. Whether it's, we're building trucks and need the computer chips that are coming from the Philippines, or we are, we ship off raw materials to steel mills outside of this country, and then we get these products back to build stuff here. What? I don't get it, but I know there's issues there. It's a
good thing we're not in charge.
Right? It's a great thing I'm not in charge. I just work at a gun store.
But you do think it's affecting the guns and ammo situation? I mean, I couldn't see how it couldn't. It seems like everything. It seems like I go like Baskin Robbins, and they're like, well, due to shipping, there's a
you're getting
shortage in vanilla.
You're getting an upcharge. It's not just firearms. You saw the entire world shut down for a year. Mm-hmm. So production of everything, your raw materials to make the component production shut down, the manufacturing of the fully finished product, whatever it may have been, shut down. And now you're trying to get everything back together to rebuild all of that. It's not going to happen instantaneously. And shipping and getting all this stuff back into us is a problem because it's not made here.
Right.
So,
well, gosh, Maggie, thank you so much for your insight, because it's we see as customers, we come in and we see what we see, which is the same things you see, but we don't really understand why we see what we see. So we really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you. I mean, I don't understand half the stuff I see anyway. We'll be honest. There's a lot of stuff out there that kind of makes you go, who do I ask about that?
Well, Maggie, you're a much wiser young lady than you let off to be. So
no.
We really appreciate it. So thank you so much. We'll talk to you next time.
You're so welcome. Thanks. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
We'll see you soon.
Bye.